As surprised as you were by the volume of that. Good evening. It's cold outside, but it's warm in here. And my name is Karma Amos. I'm the minister of this congregation and so happy to welcome you into this space. If you have seats between you and someone else that aren't being occupied, you might just want to get cozy with your neighbor and help some of those who are just arriving. A few announcements that I want to make. First, I want to say thank you to you for supporting Concerts for a Cause. We've been doing Concerts for a Cause in this building for almost 10 years, and the mission of Concerts for a Cause is to bring high-quality entertainment to the Brunswick area and provide financial support for some of the agencies that are making our community a better place for everyone. For the 2023-2024 concert series, we are supporting two important organizations in our community: Oasis Free Clinics, which provides free medical and dental care to those who cannot afford to pay for that, and the Mid-Coast New Mainers Support Group, who mobilize local support to welcome immigrant families and foster intercultural connections. So thank you for supporting those groups tonight. There is one charity table that they are sharing, and so you'll want to find them. They're just right there at the back. We will have an intermission, and we invite you to go and visit them. Find out ways in which you can also help out. By way of housekeeping, I want to let you know that we have 3 exits: the one that you came in, one directly over here in front of the AV booth, and if you were to walk completely through the building and out the back, you would find another exit there. We have 4 restrooms for all genders, 2 on the sides of this hallway, and then if you turn left, when you can't go any further, you'll find 2 more around the corner. We will have a 20-minute intermission so that you can stretch your legs, visit the restrooms I just told you about, visit the charity tables, and our main act tonight, Judd Caswell, and I'm holding off the good stuff about him, but he has a table there with hot off the press, just arrived CDs, and more than one different one that you can look at. So I know that you're going to be in a rush. Please be kind to one another as you're rushing to that table. On March the 30th, our next concert we want to let you know about will be Schooner Fair, Maine's most venerated folk band. Brothers Chuck and Steve Romanoff launched Schooner Fair with their good friend Tom Rowe 49 years ago to perform original maritime and traditional folk music. They quickly became one of the favorite bands in Portland, and soon were playing all over the country and the British Isles. Even though their bandmate Tom Rowe passed away in 2004, Schooner Fair has continued to perform even with the Portland Symphony Orchestra. The band has won unanimous critical praise for captivating harmonies and winning stage presence. And many of their songs you've heard on radio stations worldwide. Get your tickets early. You can do that tonight as well, because they will sell out. And now, tonight, we'll be presenting Judd Caswell, who is sharing his Morning Cordial Retrospective. Judd is here to introduce his brand new CD, Keep Walking, Morning Cordial Volume 1. Many of you probably watched Judd's Morning Cordials, which he launched online during COVID to provide a sense of connection and inspiration during that time. You already know, because you're here, or you will soon find out, what a masterful musician Judd is. His songwriting as well is award-winning. I want to tell you something I don't get to say very often because I have a microphone and it's not church. It will just be a minute. I want to tell you what an extraordinary human being Judd Caswell is. You already know that about his music, but he is honest. He has integrity. He cares. His heart is huge. The words that he says, and the melodies that come from him take us to a divine place of connection with one another, and I hope that that uplifts you tonight. Will you welcome Judd Caswell?
Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. too after that. It's so funny. I really appreciate the idea of being kind to each other. It's a first for me. Anybody ever thinking that that the crowd might need to be cautioned against being too, interested in the CDs at the CD table. So what I would say is I absolutely do not want any injuries. But if you could just make believe that there's a crush of people there, somehow, I would just love that. Miles of voices ricocheting off the starry skies, and the weather's clear to West Virginia, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised to stumble on this broadcast from the coal mines on my dashboard radio. Well, the names are unfamiliar, still it makes me glad to know all's well on the midnight shift tonight. That digging in the darkness is working out all right. When your eyes adjust, every spark is bright. All's well on the midnight shift tonight. 700 miles is nothing when you're bouncing round with your guitar, swimming in a sea of stony faces, and everyone's a prisoner of their car. But when the sun goes down along the turnpike, the static goes away, and the bandwidth fills with voices. Everybody seems to say that all's well on the midnight shift tonight. That digging in the darkness is working out all right. When your eyes adjust, every spark is bright. All's well on the midnight shift tonight. And you can wander up the dial to the preacher with a smile, and the voice straight out of 1954. He's talking Revelation blues, sounds like he's reading off the news. Makes me wonder how it feels to be so sure. 'Cause you know me, I'm always short on answers, though I'm never at a loss for doubts. Still I love the shape of all these questions, and I love the feel of finding out. So I may not know just where I'm going, but I trust in what I do. And I don't believe in angels, but I do believe in you. So all's well on the midnight shift tonight. That digging in the darkness is working out all right. When your eyes adjust, every spark is bright. All's well on the midnight shift tonight. All's well on the midnight shift tonight. Thanks so much. It's so strange to be here and not be running sound. That's my job. Can you hear this all right? Are we doing okay? Oh, phew. You want to hear what? Oh, yeah. Well, that was one of my songs. That was that's one of the ones on what I thought was going to be my new CD, Morning Cordial Volume 1. Is a collection of all my some original tunes that I released in that summer of 2020, and then today at 4:16, the UPS truck stopped at the top of my driveway, and he brought down a box of Morning Cordial Volume 2. So completely unexpectedly, you guys have the opportunity to be the very first people. I haven't even opened one of those yet. So if somebody has bought one and opened it, you are already ahead of me. Did anybody here catch those? Do you remember that series? Anybody here watch those videos while I was doing those in the summer? So part of that, thank you. Part of what I did was I figured out kind of at the end of March 2020 that I was going to have a really hard time if I didn't find a way to make music and try to connect with people pretty much every day. And so what I did, I sort of decided that at 10 o'clock every morning, I was going to release a video. I was going to share it. So that meant, and really, literally what I did was every morning at I guess I was waking up pretty early, so I'd get up at, 7 or 8 or something. And I'd have a cup of coffee with Marcy, and I would think, well, what do I feel like singing today? What do I want to do? And that was as much planning as I really ever put into it. And I kind of want to embrace that tonight. Just sort of at the end of the song, what do I feel like doing? And I realized this is one that Sue encouraged me to look at, what are the greatest hits of that video series? And that's a pretty strong word to use with folk music. But this is one that a lot of people seem to be watching, and it's just it's one of my favorite songs. When I went down to sing songs every day, I think I've learned a lot of songs, and I write a lot of songs that are they have a lot in common, and they were sort of that, I don't know, it's just, hey, let's just sit down and listen to some music together. Those kinds of songs. And this is one of my favorite ones from growing up that's just like that. Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million ways to be. You know that there are. And if you want to live high, live high. And if you want to live low, live low. 'Cause there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunity's on. And if you find a new way, well, you can do it today. You can make it all true, or you can make it undo. You see, it's easy. You only need to know. But if you want to say yes, say yes. And if you want to say no, say no. There's a million ways to go. You know that there are. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you. There's a million things to do. You know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunity's on. And if you find a new way, well, you can do it today. You can make it all true. You can make it undo. You see, it's easy. You only need to know. Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. There's a million ways to be. You know that there are. 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 And of course, that's a Cat Stevens song, for those of you who don't know. From Harold and Maude, right? What a great movie. I love that. I was listening to a podcast about interview with Cat Stevens, and he tells this story. That's always been some of my favorite Cat Stevens music, is the stuff from Harold and Maude. And I think what I love about it is just how acoustic it is, how stripped down it is. It's just so much just focused on him and his voice. And apparently he was very upset with that, because when they asked him to do music for the movie, he sent them what he thought were demos and what they thought were the final things. And they put those right in the movie. And I am so glad they did that and did not give him a chance to add more stuff, because he didn't need more stuff. Ooh, let's do that one more time. Here's a song about my backyard. I mean, it's a song about your backyard. Phoebe on a fence post, fly away, fly away. Phoebe on a fence post, fly away home. Green snake in the sweet grass, slide away, slide away. Green snake in the sweet grass, slide away home. 'Cause the sunset through the birches paints a picture on the wall, and the dandelions are closing, and the hermit thrush calls. So Phoebe on a fence post, fly away, fly away. Phoebe on a fence post, fly away home. Baby in the bathtub, splash away, splash away. Baby in the bathtub, splash the whole floor. Mama in the kitchen, sing away, sing away. Mama in the kitchen, won't you sing a little more? 'Cause there's moonlight on the window, and the chicken's home to roost, and this train is bound for bedtime, so shake that red caboose. And baby in the bathtub, splash away, and mama in the kitchen, won't you sing a little more? Brown bat in the starlight, sweep away, swoop away. Brown bat in the starlight, dancing on a breeze. And there's peepers in the frog pond, and they peep away, they squeak away. Peepers in the frog pond are singing through the trees. There's a bar down in an oak tree, like the ghost of Robert Frost. He's asking about the yellow wood, the two roads, and the cost. While the peepers in the frog pond peep away, squeak away, and a brown bat in the starlight is dancing on a breeze. Phoebe on a fence post, fly away, fly away. Phoebe on a fence post, fly away home. Thank you. That's it. So I'm just going to admit that I understand that it is a little bonkers that I have this many instruments up here. I have no other, I'm just going to tell, I have no other people. I am not going to be joined by anybody else at any point. I'm just going to reach over. But that was I was thinking about that just this morning, because normally I usually just have 3 stringed instruments with me. I bring this one. This is my long neck banjo, and I will bring this instrument to shows. But one of the things that was, there were some silver linings in that sort of isolated time, right? There were some. And for me, one of them was that every time I made music from my from my studio, I was making music with all of my instruments all around, hanging on the wall. So I could be like, any morning I'd be like, oh, I want to do Cat Stevens, but I want to play it on a nylon string guitar. And I never have a nylon string guitar with me. So that's what you're going to get tonight. So I also want to say, if you ever want to sing along with anything, please feel free to do that. This song is inspired by Pete Seeger. It's another song of mine. And I know a lot of you know the words to this, and feel free to sing along. If you don't know the words, the first line of every verse repeats itself, and then the ending lines of the verse repeat themselves as well. So if you hear once, you can probably sing it along again. But I also want you to know that my parents are from Maine, and I was raised in Maine, and I was taught to sing along with songs like this. So if that is how you want to sing along, I will look out, I promise you, I will look out in the audience, I will see you like this, and I will think, family. That is what I will feel. So you feel free, you do you, okay? Looking at the mountain and it seems too steep to climb. Looking at the mountain and it seems too steep to climb. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of time. Put one foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. That's the way we climb. But looking at the sadness and it seems too deep to mend. Looking at the sadness and it seems too deep to mend. Look into a stranger's eyes until you find a friend. Put one hand in the other, one hand in the other, one hand in the other. That's the way we mend. And looking at our differences, it seems too hard to love. Looking at our differences, it seems too hard to love. But everyone's the same about the most important stuff. Listen to each other, listen to each other, listen to each other. That's the way we love. And looking at yourself, seems there's nothing you can do. Looking at yourself, seems there's nothing you can do. But if you do the best you can, well, I will do it too. And we'll lean upon each other, lean upon each other, lean upon each other. That's what we can do. And looking at the distance, seems too far to go. Looking at the distance and it seems too far to go. The road that leads to justice may be longer than we know. But put 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. That's the way we go. Looking at the mountain and it seems too steep to climb. Looking at the mountain and it seems too steep to climb. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of time. Put 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. That's the way we climb. Put 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. That's the way we climb. Nice. You guys sound great on that song. So here's another one for you. got to do a little bit of Irish since the Irish CD showed up today. This is a song from that. This is so banjo's not originally an Irish instrument. It's an American instrument, right? But it's from the sort of the Appalachians, which is, I think, the proper name when you get down there, right? It's Appalachians here, of course. But there, I think it's the Appalachians, and a lot of the same people there as a lot of Scots-Irish and Irish and Scottish people settled in those places and brought their music over. So, and that's a lot of banjo music comes from there, and so there's something about playing Irish music on a banjo that just feels right. And for some reason, especially if it's a song about bootlegging whiskey, and that's what the song's about. It's called RAR Mountain Dew. That's your part. Let grasses grow and waters flow in a free and easy way, but give me enough for the rare old stuff made near Galway Bay. And the trotters all from Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim too, we'll give them a slip and take a little rip of the rare old Mountain Dew. Bless you, you're doing it. Wow. Oh my gosh. I've come to the right place. At the foot of the hill there's a neat little still where the smoke curls up to the sky. By the whiff and the smell you'll plainly tell it's poteen brewing nearby. For it fills the air with an odor rare betwixt both me and you. When it's on you roll, take a bucket or a bowl of the rare old Mountain Dew. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Now learned men who use a pen have wrote your praises high. That sweet poteen from Ireland green, distilled from wheat and rye. Throw away your pills, it'll cure all ills, a pagan, Christian, a Jew. Throw off your coat, grease your throat with a bucket of the Mountain Dew. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. You got it, Richard, you got it. I like the arms crossed though, that's a good choice on this one. Let grasses grow and waters flow in a free and easy way, but give me enough for the rare old stuff made near Galway Bay. And the trotters all from Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim too, we'll give them a slip and take a little rip of the rare old Mountain Dew. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly addy dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Haddy diddly dum diddly dum di dum diddly dum da diddly addy. Thank you. Yeah, so I want to do this. Here's another one. This is another one on the Irish CD. This is a song by Michael Peter Smith. He's a Chicago songwriter, and I had the pleasure of opening for him at a show in Fort Worth, Texas, many years ago. And I didn't know his stuff when I opened for him, and I was embarrassed to not know, because he's a master. And when I was as I was getting ready for the show, I was staying with a friend of mine down there, another songwriter, and he was talking to me about Michael's music and telling me about this one song in particular. And he was very proud of himself. He's very proud of himself for having learned this song. And he told me it was an impossible song to play, which, if you know me, you know that the very first thing I did when I got home was sit down with this song and try to prove that to myself. And this is a song, I would say it's a faux Irish song. It's a song in an Irish sort of style. And it has a couple of Irish isms in it. It has the use of sort of
sort of lilting, kind of nonsense syllables is one thing that it's got. And it's a retelling of an old folk tale. It's called The Princess and the Frog. One day a beautiful princess was walking on the bog. On a slab of peat, who should she meet but Fred the talking frog? Top of the morning to you, lass. Hello, hello, cries he. I'd be pleased, you know, if you'd stop a mo and listen close to me. You see, I've been bewitched, and I'm needing a royal miss, such as your lovely self, to give this ugly mug a kiss. Such a metamorphosis will then ensue, I'll tell you true, for I'm really a former prince, and I'll straightway marry you. To me rightful Johnny Godarum, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me hi-ho, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, Truman Capote, riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea, to dance by the sea with her 8 cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. You want to sing along with that one, Richard? Well, I've heard that song and that dance before, says the princess, it's all fine, but if it's a kiss you're after, chances you'll have to stand in line. There's frogs outside me father's castle, frogs in the royal hall, frogs is climbing up the chimneys, frogs is climbing up the wall, and frogs is floating on the moat and up the stairs and on the shelf. If I had to kiss every one of yous, Jesus, I'd have no time to myself. So laddie, let's make it quick, for rightly falls the hour. I'm due home for me evening shift of pining in the tower. To me rightful Johnny Godarum, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me hi-ho, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Begorra, it's Maureen O'Hara, riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea, to dance by the sea with her 8 cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. She's just about to kiss him when Mrs. Frog comes hopping by, crying, Fred, you're late for supper. Coming, dear, is his reply. You mean he's not bewitched? The princess says. Just odd, says Mrs. Frog. And into kissing princesses he meets upon the bog. And though I love me Fred, I fear he chafes at family ties. We'd invite you back for supper, me dear, but we've only got 2 flies. Thank God you didn't kiss him. This was your lucky day, for I was a princess when I kissed Fred too. That's how I got this way. To me rightful Johnny Godarum, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me hi-ho, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Begorra, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald, all riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea, to dance by the sea with her 8 cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. For me toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Begorra, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald, all in a Volkswagen with Victor McLagan, riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea, to dance by the sea with her 8 cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. For to dance by the sea on an LSD Timothy Leary Sunday morning. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. All right, let me play one of my tunes. This was actually the first song in the video series that I did. It went up before everything shut down. I put this up on like March 11th. It was a song I had just written. It's a song I wrote for my grandparents, and I had been thinking a lot about them. My grandparents celebrated 70 anniversaries together on Penobscot Bay, there in Belfast, Maine. Joyce and Ted Curtis. And in the years since they had passed, I was thinking a lot about this one sort of anecdote about them, really just sort of a fact about them that I don't remember ever learning. I only remember knowing it. You know how sometimes there are family things that you just always knew about your family? It's just something I always knew about my grandparents. And it was something that my family, I think, was amused by. I know they were amused by it. And lately it seems more amazing than amusing to me. Well, Nana was a registered Republican, and
Pappy was a Democrat for life. You never heard a word of anger pass between that husband and his wife. People kinda wondered why they bothered to even take the time to put on coats and go out to the schoolhouse on a Tuesday night to cancel out their votes. Used to be, there was a time we could agree to disagree. And that was before the slide into the Great Divide. And now every word I hear about my country feels like gasoline poured on a flame. Seems like everybody's picking sides and picking fights and calling names. Everywhere I look I see the anger. Every conversation fills with trolls. Everybody knows the party lines. We wave our signs, we play our roles. But it used to be, this land of us and them was made for you and me. But I guess that died in the Great Divide. Yes, I know you didn't start this fight, and I've heard the other side is more to blame. And I know that there's a wrong and right, and we can't afford to lose this game. We're all losing just the same. 'Cause we get kinda stupid when we're angry. It's easier to hurt a hurt that hates. They play us like a sucker on the line each time we rise to click the bait. Oh, but there's a simple hard solution, older than the oldest grudge you've nursed. Someone's gonna have to lay their sword down, but someone's gonna have to do it first. And it seems to me we've forgotten who's a friend or enemy. You'll recall that a house divided surely is gonna fall. Fall for spite and fall for pride into the Great Divide. But Nana was a registered Republican, and Pappy was a Democrat for life. I have to be careful how I sing the end of that song, the last line, because I think it's important to bring it back and say that, you know, Nana was a registered Republican. But when I'm singing it, like the songs kind of change a little bit from how you write them to how you sing them. And I find myself singing that last line, I want to say but Nana was a registered Republican. And if I say it too quickly, it sounds like I'm saying banana was a registered Republican, and it loses a bit of its gravitas, I think. This is a tune. Here's a tune. So this was inspired by a poem about a butterfly. And a song about a butterfly, an Irish tune. There's an Irish tune called The Butterfly that's a slip jig, and it's this wonderful bouncy little melody. And I got thinking that it'd be fun to write a butterfly song that had this different kind of bounce, an even more sort of peg-legged little bounce. So this song's in 5/4. If you're a Dave Brubeck fan or Paul Desmond fan, this is take 5. It's that kind of a beat. So see if you can hear that in this song. But it's a song about chaos theory and children. What's the difference? Think about the flight of a butterfly. Take a kind of acrobat to even try to match her crooked little wings. You think she's gonna zig and instead she'll zag. She bounces like a cat in a paper bag. Can you catch her? Well, it's harder than it seems. You think you've got her, you think she's in your hand, you can't connect. And that's the butterfly effect. That's the butterfly effect. You know, I know a girl like a butterfly. She couldn't fly a beeline, she wouldn't try. Says it's soothing when it's all up in the air. People say a straight line's the shortest path, but she's a fan of Einstein's funny math. When you're moving, well, the rule book starts to tear. You think you've got her, think she's in your hand, you can't connect. That's the butterfly effect. That's the butterfly effect. Now people say the wing of a butterfly can change a cloudy day to a sunny sky in China, given proper time. Can't you see my girl walk into the room, turn around a day full of doom and gloom, make it finer, turn it on a dime. You think you're grounded, but make one little change, your theories raise. That's the butterfly effect. That's the butterfly effect.
There's a little bit of actual math in that song, a very, very small amount. I love singing songs in December. Are there a lot of people here who are tired of the songs that we hear from Halloween to December? Anybody here? Has anybody here totally had enough of those? See, because I never worked really in a kind of a service industry where I just got bombarded with those songs in a sort of a Clockwork Orange kind of a way. So I still really love a lot of those songs, and I like playing them. I like the all the different eras of music that come together in songs of winter and songs of the season. But I realized some years ago that that my favorite winter holiday was not represented. It did not have a song, and so I set out to write a song for it. And it's really, as a kid, my favorite holiday as a kid, really, growing up. One that the magic of this holiday lingered after some of the other winter holidays started to, I don't know about if it's tarnish, but you start to see the seams. You start to see how things go together. You start to understand a little bit more about them. But this one, always magical. Radio, soft and low, crackling through the stations. Start to smile when the dial hits the cancellations. There's a prayer upon the lips of every child this morn. Fingers crossed, old Jack Frost is stirring up a storm for a snow day, an icy windy blow day. It's a snow day, a snow day. If it's light, soft and white, down the hill we're going.
But if it stacks and it packs, someone starts a throwing. You can roll a snowman's bottom, hang your hat on top. When you're soaked through your coats, the chocolate's always hot on a snow day. Pack it up and throw day. It's a snow day. A snow day. It's a sugar cookie playing hooky, present you can't buy. It's a holiday from heaven that just fell out of the sky. Sink me, skunk me, double jump me, boggle me or block me. Take the shoe, boardwalk too, nothing's gonna stop me. Stuck indoors at 4:30 with the setting of the sun. But there's so much nothing left to do. We'll never get it done on a snow day. Take it extra slow day. It's a snow day. Snow day.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Just realizing I've got a couple of other instruments up here that I haven't played anything on yet. Can we do that? What's that? Somebody just, was that a heckle? So I'm going to play this, I'll play this instrument. This is a 10-string instrument. It's called a cittern, made by Nick Apollonio. I don't know if you guys know Nick Apollonio. He's a great builder and sort of a mad scientist of luthiery. And he calls this a bell cittern. I call it a boat cittern. I think it looks more like a boat. I think it looks like a dinghy. And it's made out of teak, actually, which is more of a boat wood than an instrument wood. But I love this instrument. It's very, very much one of a kind. And when I brought it home, I had no idea what to do with it. It has totally the wrong number of strings with 10. And it turns out that this song I was working on, that I had finished all of the music for the song. Well, I had finished the melody of the song, and I had finished the words for the song, and I knew what I wanted the song to sound like, and I couldn't make it sound like it on a guitar. And then as soon as I picked this instrument up and started playing it on it, it turns out that a guitar just didn't have quite enough strings to do what I had in mind. And this is a song I wrote. I wrote this for the kind of inspired by the Androscoggin River. Thinking of the Androscoggin as a person. If you think of the Androscoggin as a person, then the Androscoggin is a millwork and has been for, that's the history of this part of the world and the industry in this part of the world, and there's not a lot of it going on right now. And so that says something about why the Androscoggin maybe is trying to tear those old mills down still. Anybody get down to the river this year for the flood? Anybody get real close to that? Wow, it reminded me of, I was here in, was it like 86 when it did that? Does anybody remember that flood? Yeah, anyway, there's a picture. It's actually, this is the title track to one of my CDs, and there's a picture of the 1936, 38 flood. Just even a little bit higher. The song's called Watch the Fall. The Androscoggin River is staggering and stumbling, tumbling down the rapids through town, mumbling and shouting out the sorrows
he's been trying to drown. Ever since the ice broke, he's been out on a bender, muddier and meaner every day, tripping up the riverbanks, kicking down whatever's in his way. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, that's the name of the game in this town. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, watch the fall. Well, I still remember the year this old river flooded out the old abandoned mill. All the boys were drinking Narragansett, watching from the hill as the Androscoggin River climbed that foundation, tore out every scrap they left behind. I guess he used to work there. When they left, he didn't take it kind. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, that's the name of the game in this town. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, watch the fall. Well, the Androscoggin River was a hell of a worker, and he carried this whole county on his back. Now he's just a drunkard singing shanties on the wrong side of the track. And the new people frown and they hold their noses. Their little ones throw rocks and run away. You should have seen him the day he dragged that mill down to the bay. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, that's the name of the game in this town. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, watch the fall. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, that's the name of the game in this town. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, watch the fall. Watch the fall. Watch the fall.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Maybe we'll do maybe just do sing you one more tune and we'll stop for a break. Does that sound good to people? We'll take a break. I've got I printed out a list of all of the videos that I did from March of 2020 through about like September of 2020. There's like 125 videos I did. But I'm not gonna play 125 songs for you. So I just picked out 54 that I want to do, and honestly, we may not even get to all of those. But one of the things, again, some of these songs were just. I mean, a lot of them were my tunes. A lot of them just kind of weren't my tunes. Music has just so many different uses. It's funny, I've always played background music as well as, I call this foreground music. There's foreground music, background music. The difference is background music, people are discouraged from talking. I mean, foreground music, people are discouraged from talking while you're making the music. But it's just, it's a different thing. I really like to share songs that we all know, songs that songs I grew up listening to.
So these were some of the songs that some mornings I would wake up and go downstairs, and stuff I needed to hear turned out to be stuff that I knew I could sing, like this. Maybe you can sing too. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call. I'll be there, yeah, 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 yeah. You got a friend. And if the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call. I'll be there, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, ain't it good to know you've got a friend? When people can be so cold, well, they'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. Oh yeah, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call. I'll be there, yeah, 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 yeah. You got a friend. You got a friend. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Oh yeah, yeah, you got a friend. Thank you. Thanks so much. And just, as a reminder, please don't hurt each other getting up to the CDs. But, make it look good. Make it look good. are you?
I won't be asking you to do it. You know the leather shoes?
Which what?
Leather shoes?
Oh, you know, I haven't played that song in a long time, but I really appreciate that.
I listened to it. I have one of the CDs and it takes memory stick.
Yeah.
I'm still in that room.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really
It's so effective.
such a feeling. And I believe I have heard this song before. I went to the conference.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I was singing another song about my backyard. Many years ago, I did a lot of traveling around the country. In folk music, folk festivals will have songwriting contests sometimes. You enter your songs, and it's a way for people who, like, it's a way for me to get to Texas and, you know, Oregon and Florida and kind of all over the country and get to share my music. And it turns out that there's a huge music scene, like to the south and west of Maine. That I probably never would have run into if I hadn't gotten involved in songwriting contests. So this was the song that sort of, really, it's the song kind of took me around to those places. It's it's kind of a song about my yard. It's kind of a song about summer. It's kind of a song about winter coming. It's kind of a song about seizing the day. Lately I've been chasing after little things that always slip away. Living in my calendar and living in my car instead of living in the day. But a wind blew down from Canada this morning like a warning shot of cold across my bow. So now I'm out here in my sandals, getting bloodied by these brambles and eating all the berries I'm allowed, because it's blackberry time. Blackberry time. It's a secret of a season in its prime, when all the world is full and ripe and quickly going by. Well, then it's blackberry, 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 blackberry time. And the air is full of crickets, song and hayseed, honeybee and dragonfly. The last full day of summer, baked and cooling on the windowsill, smells a lot like apple pie. And up beneath the popple and the birches, at the border where the grass has gone to trees, I've got those stains upon my fingers and an aftertaste that lingers. One part sweet, one part fruit, and two parts seed. Blackberry time. Blackberry time. It's a secret of a season in its prime, when all the world is full and ripe and quickly going by. Well, then it's blackberry, 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 blackberry time. I wish I had a cup to fill, to take this harvest home and to make it stay. And I wish I had that recipe to press it into wine and seal the flavor of the day. Watching from a silver maple's branches, there is a catbird who sings a hungry kind of song. And he says, be thankful for the sweet, because you know that it don't keep. You just eat what you can eat, and then you move along. When it's blackberry time.
blackberry time. It's a secret of a season in its prime, when all the world is full and ripe and quickly going by. Well, then it's blackberry, 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 blackberry time. Blackberry time.
Thanks so much. It's funny, I was thinking about, so writing that song, that's a song that came pretty quickly to me, sitting out on my porch and looking up at the edge of the yard where the blackberries were and thinking about picking blackberries with my great-grandmother as a kid, and there's just a lot of family memories to it. And so I wrote the song pretty quickly, and then I spent like 6 months like not trusting it and revising it and changing it and trying to make it better. And finally, just like I just stopped and I was like, no, it was fine. And I just started singing the song the way I wrote it the first time. And that's sort of my songwriting process, is neurotic, I think is the word for it. It's not a fraught, maybe would be a way to put it. So I don't write songs quickly. And with one exception, I'll play you the song that's the exception. This is like the only song that I've ever written and just sort of known that it was done quickly. And I was playing a show in Bath, and a friend of mine was at the show, and he came up on my first break. This was just at a pub. It was actually at the Bounty. You know the Bounty? Yeah, at the old Holiday Inn back there. I was playing one Thursday night there. I did that for some years. And my friend came up to me and on the break, and he told me that he and his girlfriend were engaged. Now, I knew that they had been together for a long time, since high school, and that this hadn't come up before. So I asked him, what had changed and what the story was. And he told me the story, and it was so inspiring that I walked right over to the bar, and I got a couple of bar napkins, and I asked for a pen, and I just wrote the song. And I literally opened the next set with it. I was like, all right, come on, Paul. This is your wedding song. Well, today's our day to walk down the aisle with a tearful eye and a joyful smile. I'm gonna put this ring upon your hand so I can put you on my insurance plan, and our long engagement has amused our friends and annoyed our families. Still it had to end, so we called the preacher to save the day. Then we called the office to change the copay on the insurance plan. Insurance plan. Make a husband and a wife out of a woman and a man. You won't need to check your checkbook when you schedule your exam, once I put you on my insurance plan. 'Cause nothing in the world can make a love more indestructible than a policy with dental and a reasonable deductible insurance plan. Insurance plan. Make a husband and a wife out of a woman and a man. When you want to start a family, call the OBGYN and have her send the tab to my insurance plan. Thanks so much. Thank you. So one of the things that I started doing, and this is actually reflects on the, where does this go? That's how it goes. This was my process for doing these videos often. This was actually maybe the first one that I did this way. I woke up one morning, I found the original files. It's like 6:45 that I started recording the song one morning. And I posted it by 10. I had like a 10 o'clock deadline. Pretty sure it was up by 10 o'clock. And the song I played it on Cittern. And then I remembered, I actually learned that song on mandolin. Like when I was thinking about taking a mandolin to some shows. So maybe I can still play it on mandolin. And I could kind of still play it on mandolin. So I also played it on mandolin on top of the Cittern. And then I was like, tenor banjo is fingered exactly the same as mandolin. So I played it on tenor banjo too. And then I still had some time left. So I got out my boron, which is an Irish drum, and I played some boron on it. And then I was like, what this really needs is some penny whistle. So there's some penny whistle on it as well. So I did all like, however many parts that is, just sort of first thing in the morning, just it's just fun, fun to do the songs. And then and I did more of those. I did a bunch where there's like 5 of me playing instruments, and I call my band the Homebound Hooligans. That's why that's the name of my album. So this is the Rocky Road to Dublin. Maybe I'll put this up here. Well, in the merry month of June, from my home I started, left the girls a tune, my nearly broken-hearted saluted father dear, kissed my darling mother, drank a pint to bear my grief, tears to smother, then off to reap the corn, left where I was born, cut a stout black thorn to banish ghosts and goblins, brand new pair of bows, rattle the bogs, frighten all the dogs, on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin, whack Fallaldy, Well, in Mullingar that night I rested, limbs so weary, started by daylight, my spirits bright and airy, took a drop of the pure to keep my heart from sinking, to Paddy's cure when Airy's on for drinking, to see the lassies smile, laughing all the while, at me curious style would set your heart to bubble, and asked if I was hired, wages I required, I was almost tired of the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin, Fallaldy. Well, in Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived of view of that fair city. I took a stroll all among the quality bundle, it was stolen in a neat locality. It crossed my mind that up behind no bundle could I find upon my stick. Wobble inquiring for the rogue, they said me Connacht brogue wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin, Fallaldy. From there I got away, my spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, said that no room had he. I jumped aboard a cabin found for Paddy. Among the pigs I danced in funny rigs, Played some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling off to holy head. I wish myself was dead, better far instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt there and turn her down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin, Wakefield, ride. Well, the boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil. Temper I was losing, poor old Erin's Isle. But they began abusing her on me, so says I, shillelagh and let fly. Galway boys were by, and sorry was a hobbling. With loud hooray, they joined in the affray. Quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin, Wakefield, ride. Thank you. Thanks so much. You had to know there was going to be another banjo song. You just you got no excuse. If banjo's not your thing, it's been sitting right there the whole time. Sometimes I'll just ask if there are any allergies to banjo in the room. This is a song that I actually wrote. Actually, I got a couple of these songs that I wrote for this church, or songs that I wrote for services that were here. And this may be the first one that I ever wrote. Certainly the first song I wrote on the banjo. And a friend or an acquaintance was doing a service here. Somebody actually met her just before that. She was kind of a friend of a friend. And she was doing a service where she was kind of a lay-led service, and she was talking about comparing her experiences of hiking in the Sierra Nevadas to her experiences going on long Buddhist retreats. And so I thought, banjo. And so I was kicking around the stories because I liked what she was trying to say, because what she was trying to say is that these are both those are both kind of transcendent experiences. They're experiences that very much take you out of the gravitational pull of your daily life, right? And they give you something special. And what she wanted to talk about was the challenge of taking that something special and getting back to your daily life with some piece of it, which is a real challenge. And so I was mulling that idea over, and then my brother-in-law told me this just amazing story of hiking Mount Washington. He went on a Mount Washington hike, a winter hike of Mount Washington, right? People die doing that. It's a dangerous thing, right? He was with a good group of guys, and he's a super sort of athlete and careful, smart guy. So he knew what he was doing. But the thing is that when he came back, he was like, we didn't summit. We didn't get to the top. Weather turned bad. We turned around. And he's like, and there's one guy who was so upset that they turned back, that they didn't summit the mountain. And Joel said, yeah, for this guy, it was all about getting to the top. And the rest of us were like, you get to the top of the mountain, you're only halfway there. I was like, that's the title of the song. Go to the mountain to smell the mountain pine. Go into the mountain to feel the mountain time. Rocking the wind around me, I'm gonna make the mountain mine. Standing on the mountain, up in the mountain sky. Standing on the mountain, beautiful and wild. Standing in the sunshine, peaceful as a child. And I'm halfway there, I am halfway there. Yes, I'm halfway there, I am halfway there. 'Cause until I come on home with
something I can share. I'm only halfway there. Going to the mountain with trouble on my mind. Going to the mountain to see if I can find a place to lay my burden and to leave it all behind. Standing on the mountain, set my spirit free. Standing on the mountain to see if I can see. And when there's no more mountain, and when there's no more me, I will be halfway there. I'll be halfway there. I'll be halfway there. I'll be halfway there. 'Cause until I come on home with something I can share, I'm only halfway there. Yes, until I come on home with something I can share, I'm only halfway there. Thank you. I want to do more songs that kind of from this space or from this place. This many years ago, I was writing a bunch of songs with some friends. We were playing a game of musical chicken. Every Monday, we had to write a song, and if you didn't write it, then obviously you lost. So I didn't want to lose. So I kept writing songs on Mondays. And and I had written a bunch of songs. I'd written 8 or 10, maybe had gone for 8 or 10 weeks, and so I was experimenting with new songwriting techniques. And this particular week, I was experimenting with procrastination as a songwriting technique. And so Monday came along, and I had not written. I just hadn't even considered what I would write about. And we got a call early Monday morning from a friend of ours saying that the church had burned down the night before. And so that was how we spent our day, was among friends, right here at this corner, just outside. And then I went home that night and I wrote this song about it. Longfellow's Bible was pulled from the fire in time. The new grand piano is likely to clean up just fine. But the leaded glass windows are shattered and scattered and broke. And the old wooden pipe organ's gone through the roof with the smoke. When the UU burned down, the history was lost. 8 generations of sunlight and frost. When the UU burned down, the minister cried, 'cause stalwart New Englanders can't always keep it inside. Now there's a family of Priuses parked in a line down the block, as friends come together to weather the sadness and shock. Looking for answers, we hover, we poke and we prod. But of course, being you, there's nobody here blaming God. When the UU burned down, we were singing that song, something about keeping on, keeping on. when the UU burned down, we gathered to say that the bleeding heart of this church is still beating today. Now at the corner of Middle and Pleasant, they're loading the trucks with everything that wasn't nailed down and wasn't burned up. You think of the years and the miles that we've walked down this road, and we're tired but proud that it's our turn to shoulder the load. When the UU burned down, the vision was safe as light through a window while music is played. When the UU burned down, the mission was clear: pick up the smoldering pieces and take it from here. You guys feel like singing another song? I bet this is. I hope this is one that you know. Last year marked the. I've been singing a lot of Jim Croce songs lately. This is a song that was the title track to his last studio CD. It's not a song that he wrote, but it just sure is a fun song to sing. It's called "I Got a Name." You guys know that tune? Like the pine trees lined in the winding roads, I got a name, I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I got a name, I've got a name. I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept here. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like the north wind whistling down the sky, I got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill, the babies cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. And I'm gonna go there free, like the fool I am and I'll always be. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. They can change their minds, but they can't change me. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So just to be clear, I could totally play this next song on the guitar I just had in my hands. Like, I recognize that. I know I could do that. But I could also play it on this one, and it'll sound just that little bit different. This is another one. So a couple of the tunes here, the ones I was just playing, that banjo tune, and then When the UU Burned Down. One of the things that I like about these collections, there's some songs that I've been singing for a long time that I haven't had out on a record, and so those are on Keep Walking. And I want to do one more. I want to do one more volume. I want to do I've seen these CDs as a 3 CD set. One CD of my songs and one CD of Irish and sort of folk songs, and another CD of songs like that, like I Got a Name, like Jim Croce and James Taylor and some of this other stuff that we've been singing tonight. That was such a big part of that time for me as well. So if you want to know about that song, please sign up. I've got a mailing list back there. If you push the little QR code or just go to juddcaswell.com, you can sign up on the mailing list, and you can listen to music there and see the videos. And actually, I'm going to be doing a concert in May in Freeport at Cadenza, where I'm going to do an all Jim Croce night. Going to do a Jim Croce tribute, because we're in the 50-year anniversary of his passing. He passed in September of 73, so it'll have been 50 and a half years or so. But I love his music, and so it's going to be a lot of fun to do that. There's another song that I've been playing for a while. That song, Keep Walking. And it's a song inspired by Andrew Wyeth's paintings. And more than his paintings, really kind of his sketches. Have you guys been up to the Farnsworth? There's something, I mean, his paintings are amazing and magical, but there's something about his exercises, the sketches that are like just the pencil drawings that are also on display there, that are somehow so much more interesting to me, because you can see his attention in them so much differently than you can in his paintings. His paintings, there's attention and perfect detail out to sort of every corner of the painting, and it's beautiful. But to see a picture of a portrait of a guy sitting down on the shore next to a rock, and what he's really interested in is the barnacles on the rock, and you can see that's where all the detail is, and then the attention just sort of fades away, and it's just such an amazing experience to see that. But I grew up in that part of the world, spent early years of my life up in Waldo County, which is not up on Penobscot Bay there, which is close to that Olson house. So going to the Olson house and seeing his paintings kind of take me back home. Watercolors under glass, pencil sketches framed in brass, windows on a weathered past gone by. The ragged pine on the hungry hill, the beaten farmhouse standing still, clouds that drift like coffee spilled on the sky. In this still life, time rushes in until life stills again.
the iron stove by the wooden door. It takes up half the kitchen floor. It buckles down a little more every year. And there's Christina on her chair, sunlight burning in her hair, and all the weight she has to bear is so clear in this still life. Time rushes in until life stills again. And the lesson in the artist's hand is plant your feet down where they stand. Love the people of the land and take the time to contemplate the dark and light that give us shape and soul and sight. And if you're careful, you just might come to find a still life where time rushes in until life stills again.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and Sue, thank you for having me here. Thanks to UU for sponsoring this, and I would happily play another hour, but I'm not gonna. I'll play one more tune for you, and then we'll do the fake encore thing, and then we'll. So this is my last song. That's the. It's a song I wrote for my dad back in 2008. It was inspired by what was going on in 2008. I don't know if you remember, that was a little bit of a tricky time for a lot of people. My dad worked for himself, and the work got kind of thin, and he was trying to figure out whether that meant that maybe it was time for him to shut his business down and retire, or if he was going to try to weather the storm of it. And he ran the numbers over and over again, trying to figure that out. And every time he ran them, he couldn't make it clear. It didn't come out. Numbers just didn't work out, and that was hard. It was hard for him because he was a structural engineer, right? Making the numbers work was just deeper than a job. It was really part of him. And so I got thinking, well, here I am. I'm a folk musician. The numbers not working out is just so common. It's like I just have all this experience with it. So I thought I would share a little bit. And I got to work with my dad for many years, and I remembered. There are situations that come up in engineering offices where they know things are going to be all right, but they can't prove it. And that's what this song is about. You know it's going to be all right, but you might not want to try to throw the numbers on it. It's called Holding It Together.
Of the shingles going silver, the long summer twilight on my grandfather's barn. The ridgepole walks a crooked line, swaying deeper with the time. And in the nightshade and the ivy grow together by the field stone foundation as it shoulders the load. And it may not hold another year. That's why we've called the engineer. And he grips his clipboard, chews his pen. He squints up through the rafters and says, I will tell you, friend, don't ask. You don't want to know. The numbers think this should have failed you long ago. There's something holding it together the math will never show. So say a little prayer and on you go. She's got baby blue, powder pink speckles on the well-worn t-shirt from my favorite band. There's stacks of books on every floor. There's masking tape around the door. So I brush aside the drop cloth from the keyboard of the old piano so I can wander for a while. I don't hear her coming up behind till she puts her hand in mine. She says she's worried, she can't see clear. Do I think there will be room enough for 3 this year? Well, don't ask. You don't want to know. The numbers think this should have failed us long ago. There's something holding it together the math will never show. So say a little prayer and on you go. It seems to me that life is lifeless if you're just waiting on some kind of guarantee. You may prove that hope is hopeless. All I ask is don't tell me. 'Cause I don't want to know if the numbers think this should have failed me long ago. There's something holding it together the math will never show. So I say a little prayer and on I go. I just say a little prayer and on I go. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thanks for playing along with that. That was really nice of you. I haven't done the title track. I thought I'd share that with you before we call it a night. Keep Walking is the name of the CD that, I guess it's my old CD now since the new one showed up at 4 o'clock today, but it's old, but it's only like a week old. The song is something I wrote in the summer of 2020. And I had just stumbled across this Rumi poem. You guys know Rumi? I'm sure some of you know Rumi.
this was in a book by Anne Lamott, and it was I was just reading the book, and there was the poem sort of as a separation between chapters, and it just hit me. It was just the right time for it. It was the right things to be. It was things I needed to hear in that moment, and so I wanted to set it to music, and I tried to do as little violence to it as I could. Change as little as I could, try to keep as much of the meaning as I could. But I did want it to rhyme, so my apologies to Rumi. Keep walking. And keep walking. On you go. Though the final destination is never ours to know. Seeing through the distance, now that's not for you or me. It's not a place to get to, it's a place to be. Move within, not in fear. Don't you listen to those voices whisper in your ear. Today we wake alone, just like every other day, empty and frightened, and with a choice to make, to keep walking. May the beauty we love be what we do. May the love that we find see us through, till the beauty we love proves this thing we've found. There's at least 100 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Raise your voice, find your song. Let your heart beat soft and gentle, or loud and strong. Study in the world, now that can only go so far. Sometimes you gotta reach up and take down your guitar. Keep walking. May the beauty we love be what we do. May the love that we find see us through, till the beauty we love proves this thing we found. There's at least 100 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. So keep walking. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Ben. Nice to see you, man. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thank you. It's my understanding nobody gets to leave till all the food is eaten too, so check it out. Thank you.